How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running their end-of-the-year sale as well as an indie sale. A lot of great deals across both sales. The indie sale has a lot of games that I personally haven't played. Probably going to pick up some stuff myself from that sale. However, the under $5 section across both sales has some great offers, and I want to take you guys through 13 deals that I found. A lot of this is repeats, but a lot of you guys probably don't own some of these titles, and we've got some pretty great games at great prices. So let's get right into it, and let's start things off with arguably the best deal across the entire sale. Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive experience, is 80% off for $3.99. Now that we're 7 years removed since the release of this game, I feel like the controversy has kind of went to the wayside, and people are assessing MGS5 for what it is, a pretty darn good open-world action-adventure stealth title. Like, there's a lot of things to like about Metal Gear Solid 5. I know the complaint was the cut content, the fact that the narrative isn't as engrossing, I would say, as some of the other Metal Gear titles. However, it's still pretty compelling. It's just told in a different way through the utilization of all these cassette tapes and whatnot. It's a fantastic game, runs incredibly well, and just has very satisfying gameplay. For $3.99 for all the content you're getting here, this is a no-brainer, and I would strongly recommend it. Next up, a game that I've always recommended, Sleeping Dogs the Definitive Edition, is 85% off for $4.49. I don't know what we gotta do to get Square Enix to make a sequel for this game. Probably never gonna happen, but this is a fantastic game. Sleeping Dogs is a great open-world action-adventure title with some great combat as well. Now, you have to get one thing right. With Sleeping Dogs, it's not like this game has a gigantic open world in comparison to, you know, some of the big open worlds we see these days. Bear in mind, this game came out back in like 2012, 2013. But it still is pretty big, and it has a good bit of content. The Definitive Edition will give you extra content, great narrative, great main character. $4.49, I think, is a great deal for this, and definitely worth a pickup. Next up, Dishonored Definitive Edition, 75% off for $4.99. Sometimes we'll see this go on sale for like 50% off or 60% off. When you see it for 75% off, easy recommendation and easy pickup here. The great thing about Dishonored is, even though this game came out back in December of 2012, I think it was, so it's like a decade old at this point, it holds up really strongly, even from a visual standpoint, because it's got this great art style that has just aged really well. From a combat standpoint, it's good. A variety of different ways to tackle the game, whether or not you want to go super action heavy, whether or not you want to take the quiet, stealthy approach. That's probably the more rewarding way to play the game. The game does have quite a bit of replayability, and after you complete this, definitely check out Dishonored 2 as well. This also includes the DLC, so that's quite nice as well. But yeah, great game. Not super lengthy, but well worth it for that price point. Next up, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, 84% off for $4.79. We finally know that Dragon's Dogma 2 is in fact in development. Why not go back and check out Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen? Look, this is the version of the game that should be played on consoles. Like, that original PlayStation 3 version was good. Unfortunately, it really was limited by its technical shortcomings. That's not really an issue with this one. Runs fairly well. Challenging game. Definitely a challenging game that's probably not going to be for everyone, but a quality action RPG here. It also includes the bonus content, the Dark Arisen content. The only downer about this version of the game is that they took out the theme song from the original game, and the original theme song was a banger. Like, I can't believe. But that's a very small complaint. For $4.79, this is a great deal, and I would strongly recommend it. Next up, Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood. Look, Symphony of the Night is one of the iconic games when you talk about Castlevania titles, when you talk about this style of game. Symphony of the Night is kind of looked at as one of the standard bearers. Bear in mind, it is a PlayStation 1 game, so, you know, keep your expectations in line from a technical standpoint. Rondo of Blood, I want to say, saw its first release over here in the States as a part of the Dracula X Chronicles on PSP. Don't quote me on that. Like, that's how I remember it going down, but nonetheless, you get that as well. But Symphony of the Night is the one that most people are going to gravitate towards. $3.99, I think, for both is really solid, so if you're a fan of this style of game, go check it out. Next up, Mad Max, 75% off for $4.99. Mentioned Metal Gear Solid 5 earlier. Mad Max actually came out the same day as MGS5, which I feel like was ultimately this game's undoing. MGS5 got all the attention, and they were both these bigger budget open world titles. Mad Max, however, was pretty solid. Like, the narrative isn't amazing, but it does pick up towards the latter portion of the game. The combat in this game is really good, really satisfying as well. Set in this big open world, also a game that runs really well. A game that kind of didn't get the the attention it deserved. I'm not saying it was a blow-away $60 worth it game, but for $5, I would say that this is a good pickup, and if you want an open world you can get, you know, you don't have to take too seriously, Mad Max is definitely going to offer you that. Over-the-top game, and yeah, $4.99, good pickup here. Speaking of over-the-top, Just Cause 3 XXL Edition is exactly that. 86% off for $4.19. I feel like this is a new low for the game. I feel like prior, when it went on sale, it would be like $4.49. Nonetheless, this is a great buy for Just Cause 3. This was a game that was like an abomination when it initially launched. It still has its technical shortcomings for sure, but much better than what it was. This is an open world game. Just Cause in general, open world games that you just get into, you kind of zone out, and you just enjoy wrecking havoc. You're not gonna get emotionally invested into Rico Rodriguez as the main character. Like, that's not what this game is about. The game is about doing crazy things, blowing things up, and having a great time with it. Like, if you had a long day at work and you just want to mentally unwind, maybe have a couple drinks, Just Cause 3 is a great game to go with that. I think it's a very enjoyable game, all things together. XXL Edition includes some bonus content. $4.19, not a bad deal at all. Next up, we got Dragon's Crown Pro, $3.99, 80% off. You guys know I love me some Vanillaware, love me their art style. This one, I feel like this isn't as strong as some of the other Vanillaware games. It's still a pretty good game. Solid action RPG here, and it still looks very good from a visual standpoint. And the fact is, you're paying $4 for it. Great pickup. If you like the Vanillaware style games, you'll enjoy this one as well. Good action gameplay, decent soundtrack, you know, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is always going to be my favorite Vanillaware game going forward from here on out, but nonetheless, this is really solid, and $4 is a great pickup for this. Next up, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, 85% off for $4.49. Deus Ex is a franchise that hopefully, now that it's in hands outside of Square Enix, it's gonna get a little bit more love because there's so much potential going forward with Deus Ex. Deus Ex Mankind Divided was a good game. Narratively, it kind of got its legs cut underneath it, and, you know, that aspect wasn't as strong as Human Revolution, but it's still a good game from a gameplay standpoint, and the story's still solid. Main character's awesome, and it's got a great world, great setting. They gotta remaster Human Revolution at some point. Like, yeah, whoever, I forget exactly the ownership of who has Human Revolution, but whoever has it, remaster it, and then just print money. That's literally what you're doing. You're printing money, throwing the missing link in there, and easy money there. Take that idea, just bring it out soon, please, because I know a lot of people want to play Mankind Divided, but they probably want to play Human Revolution first, and we don't have an easy way to do that on PlayStation, so that's a bummer, but nonetheless, Mankind Divided for $4.50, good pickup here. Also $4.49, Metro Redux. Of course, Metro 2033, it's Metro Last Light. I talk about these games all the time. They're great atmospheric and grossing shooters that are very narrative-driven. Gameplay isn't, like, completely blow-away, but they're fine, suitable first-person shooters. What you're going into these games for, I feel, is the setting, the world, how atmospheric it is. It does a really good job of absorbing you into that world. Narratively, it's strong, and it's a pretty emotional story altogether, so, yeah, $4.49, I mean, essentially it's what, $2.25 a pop for each of these games? Yeah, I can do math at a second grade level, baby. It's a good deal. Definitely go pick it up. Next up, want to give a shout to Darksiders Warmastered Edition, 80% off for $3.99. Now, this is available through PlayStation Plus Premium. That's top tier. You guys all hate that tier, so I'm mentioning it. $3.99 for Darksiders 1. Darksiders 1 came out back in, I want to say, 2010. I want to say, like, randomly, like, this game and Bayonetta came out on the same day in, like, January of 2010. I don't know why I remember that, but random factoid for you. Very good action game with some good puzzles. I remember back when this game was coming out, a lot of people were saying it's God of War crossed with Zelda, and I was like, that's way too, like, Darksiders is good. You're talking games that are revered in God of War and The Legend of Zelda. Darksiders ain't at that level, but it's a decent game, and quality action gameplay. Visuals, you know, they're not the greatest given that the game's over a decade old, but it's good enough, and for $4, I think it's a pretty decent pickup. Last two deals are from the PlayStation Store's Indie sale. So we have Inside at $4.99. This Inside is fantastic. If you haven't played Limbo, they do have the Inside and Limbo bundle. I think it's like $5 and change, so you pay a little bit more and you'll get both. So that might be something you want to look at. This is available through PS Plus Extra. Limbo is available through PS Plus Premium. So yeah, they're both great, darker platformers, adventure platformers, really well done. I want to know what Playdead's working on next because I feel like it's been a while since Inside has come out, but they take their time with their games. Limbo came out in 2008, Inside was 2016, so maybe their next game, 2024? I don't know, but nonetheless, $4.99 for that is good. And then lastly, no-brainer here, Hotline Miami Collection, 75% off for $4.99, a banger of a deal. Hotline Miami 1 and 2, over-the-top throwback action titles, very bloody, very gruesome, but over-the-top action titles here, just super enjoyable and very replayable. So $4.99 for Hotline Miami Collection, thought that was a no-brainer as well. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a ton of great deals under $5, so great deals in general. Definitely going to look at some more expensive deals because there's some good stuff on deals over even like 20 bucks, so we'll get to that eventually. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.